Have you ever had someone making an unnecessary comment about you that stayed with you lingering long after that moment have passed? Or maybe someone at a family gathering asked, do you really need that dessert? Or perhaps you had someone making you a compliment in a way that didn't quite feel like a compliment. Did that ever happen to you? It happened to me. Things like, oh, you're pretty smart for someone in your field, or wow, you don't look your age at all. Really? And maybe, like me, you received online feedback that had nothing to do with your message, but everything to do with your appearance or tone or surroundings. These subtle remarks are called microaggressions. Yeah. On the surface, they might seem like harmless, throwaway comments, things that you shouldn't really take seriously, right? But the reality is they create a ripple effect. They chip away at a confidence that we have, reinforcing damaging stereotypes, and often leave us questioning ourselves in ways that we shouldn't really have to. So today I want to share my thoughts on microaggressions, why they matter, how they're connected with the larger societal systems that we live in, and most importantly, how can we really navigate and address them? Before I dive into the topic that I'm going to be exploring today, I just want to share a quick update about this channel. At the time of filming this video, I have 111 subscribers and I'm incredibly grateful for it. Thank you for choosing to be here in this space. I genuinely appreciate every comment, like, and every bit of engagement. It means the world to me. When I started this channel, I was uploading 2 videos a week. But after reflecting a few weeks ago, I decided to make a meaningful change to my content schedule. So I started posting once a week, every Friday. You see, I wanted to focus on what truly matters instead of just, uploading for the sake of staying consistent. I want to create something deeper and more impactful if I can. And I really, really hope that this space is where we can explore life complexities and share stories and connect at personal level. And I know life is busy for everyone, me included, and the internet can feel really overwhelming at times. So this is why I want to really focus moving forward to prioritize quality over quantity. I also hope that this channel becomes a place where you feel inspired to think critically, feel seen, and live with tools that can help you, empower you to navigate and live a life more intentionally. So that's the update that I would like to mention, and with that out of the way, let's just get on with the video. Now, let's talk about microaggressions. Those small, often unintentional remarks that stick with you longer than they should. Awful, really, right? So a few weeks ago, I went for a run with my husband, and we both run the same way. We are called by professional coaches as gliders. In fact, a while back, I even had my running form analyzed, and it works just fine for me. But as we passed by a group of people, I heard someone saying to me, pick up your knees. It wasn't directed to my husband, only to me. At first, I brushed it off. I thought, I even laughed. But then, a while back, that happened again. And then I noticed that was strange, because my husband's running style is exactly the same than mine, and he never seemed to get those comments. So why I was being singled out? It doesn't really stop with running either, you see. Once I filmed a video in a previous YouTube channel I used to have in front of a very simple backdrop. It was a bookshelf. It had books and I think there was a plant. And someone left a comment saying that it was a little bit cluttered. I remember the time thinking, I wonder if it was a guy filming this video, if he would have left that comment. And you know what? I know I'm not alone in those experiences. A friend of mine, a woman in tech, told me about this interaction she had at work. A co-worker told her, "Oh, you're really good at coding for a girl." Come on, seriously? On the surface, it may sound like a compliment. But if you unpack, there is a patronizing tone, and it implies that women's skills in tech, for example, are an exception, not the norm. You know what I mean? And the thing about microaggressions is that they force you to carry a mental load that you never really asked for. And then you start to ask yourself, was that remark intentional? And should I say something? Or if I say something, will I look too sensitive? Or perhaps I am overreacting? See? These small moments take up more space in your head than they deserve, really. But when they keep happening, they start to feel less like isolated incidents and more like a proof of a bigger pattern. I want to have a look now at the consequences, because microaggressions might seem like a minor irritations at first, but their cumulative effect can be quite profound. And here is why this matters. One, it can cause the erosion of self-worth of the person. When women are subjected to unsolicited comments, it reinforces a harmful narrative, the idea that they are never quite enough. Whether it is a critique of their tone, appearance, or behavior, these comments leave a lasting impression. Over time, this erodes their confidence and can lead to imposter syndrome. Women might end up feeling like they don't really deserve the accomplishment, or have that sense, oh, they're gonna find out that they are somehow a fraud or something. And this isn't just about a mental hurdle, it can limit personal and professional growth in a really significant way. Unfortunately, it can also lead to chronic stress and emotional exhaustion. Something I want you to be aware of is that this stress caused by frequent microaggressions is real. Research has suggested that chronic stress from subtle discrimination can have a long-term effect on physical health, leading to fatigue, insomnia, and even hypertension. Imagine spending hours overanalyzing a presentation or second-guessing your outfit because you fear judgment. Does that sound like you've done before? That mental toll adds up. And one of the most damaging effects really is internalized biases. Because women might start holding themselves back, not because they lack ambition, but because they have been conditioned to believe that their ideas won't be taken seriously. Trust me, I have been through that myself. For example, in meetings, women might feel like they hesitate to speak up for fear of being interrupted, dismissed, labeled too aggressive. And I also think it's crucial to acknowledge that microaggressions don't really happen in isolation. They intersect with race, age, sexuality, and other aspects of identity. For example, women of color often face racialized microaggressions, such as being called articulate in a way that feels condescending. Likewise, older women, like me, might face ageist remarks that dismiss being relevant at all, to say anything or do anything. And the LGBTQ plus women often deal with comments that are undermining or questioning their identities. I have seen that a lot as well, unfortunately. When these layers overlap, the impact is really compounded. So therefore, I think it is crucial that we approach those conversations through an intersectional lens to address the unique challenges faced by different groups that are targeted. Now, let's be clear about something else here. Microaggressions don't exist in a vacuum. No, not really. They're rooted in a larger system that shape our values and behavior. For example, patriarchy, a system of control, one that positions men as the default leaders while placing a stricter scrutiny on women. Microaggressions are one of the ways that this imbalance is maintained. From childhood, societal norms teach girls to be quite polite and accommodating, while boys are encouraged to assert themselves. That doesn't help, does it? Then, as an adult, women who break those expectations by being assertive or taking up space are often judged harshly. Come on, this is really not fair, is it? And let's not forget capitalism, which often mirrors patriarchal structures. And I mean a toxic capitalism. For example, industries like beauty, fashion, profit from women insecurities, constantly selling the idea that they need you to look younger, thinner, or better. In workplaces, women are frequently funneled into some lower paying, less authoritative roles, perpetuating age gaps and limiting advancement and opportunities. And if it wasn't enough, media plays a significant role in normalizing microaggressions. Just think for a second. How often women in leadership roles are portrayed as too cold or too emotional? Those stereotypes seep deep into the public perception, influencing how women are treated in real life. Now, dealing with microaggressions requires resilience and thoughtful action. You do what's best for you, of course, as always. But I'm gonna suggest some strategies. You can call it out. Yep. If you feel safe, address the comment directly. For example, oh, I know you probably didn't mean in this way, but that comment came across dismissive. Or use humor. Can be a powerful tool to set boundaries without escalating the situation. Wow, I didn't realize my knees were the star of the running trail today. I probably should have said that. And stay grounded in your values. Remind yourself that your worth isn't really tied to others' opinions. We all know that, but we need to remind ourselves. Focus on what truly matters to you. Again, we all know that, but we need to remind ourselves. And I guess it goes without saying, have support around you, have people who uplift you and validate you. It's so important to have a strong community and people who can help you to process those difficult experiences, and so that you can gain more resilience. And I think, again, the point I wanted to highlight here is that microaggressions aren't just harmless comments. They are part of a larger system that shapes how we see ourselves and each other. But naming them and sharing our experience can start to change the narrative. It is incredibly powerful. So imagine a world where we are judged not by stereotypes, but by our character and our contributions. So that's the kind of future we should really strive to build. One that is fair, collaborative, and inclusive for everyone. Now, I wanted to thank you for watching my videos and supporting this channel. You have no idea how your encouragement inspires me to keep creating content that I hope inspire important conversations. I would love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced microaggressions? And how did it make you feel? And how did you respond? Let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn from your stories. It does help me a lot as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next Friday. Bye for now.